Hey folks! Welcome back to Let's Play Suzuki Bakuhatsu. I'm your host, CPC Gamer, and between our last episode and this one, I came to realise that I probably could have set this game to normal or even hard difficulty and still done just as well. I won't, but I could have done. So, let's see what's going on today, shall we? Yeah! YouTube, are you ready to rock? No, actually, give me a second, because I need to tie my laces. Also, you might have seen, this band is signed to the label Enix Tracks. That's a really cute little touch, game. Oh, and it's the 4-chord song. Okay. Well, since the music's going nowhere, how about the video? Because I have a suspicion that the actress playing Suzuki doesn't know how to play an instrument. Like, the camera never really shows her hands, and she's just bobbing around while the other guys are doing the punk band thing. Well, that's probably why they gave her the bass guitar. Which is weird, because the band member that does know how to play the instrument is usually the drummer. Oh yeah, I've got loads of these. And I'm entirely confident making jokes like that, because I'm a drummer. Like, you can tell the stage is level, because I'm drooling out of both sides of my mouth. And I think it's telling that, like, CPC's sister, she can play the flute and the piano, and I think the guitar, and she's in a choir. And then you've got me, who just hits stuff and then noise falls out. And what's the difference between a drummer and a drum machine? You only need to punch the information into a drum machine once. Wow, tough crowd today. Oh hey, what do you know? It's a distraction. And what a distraction! I love the sound of Japanese banjos. Yeah, I know it's a shamisen, calm down. One of my favorite Japanese musicians uses the shamisen a lot in her live shows. Like, she'll just start shredding on it like an electric guitar, and it totally works, even though it kinda shouldn't. And her name is Shiina Ringo, and her live shows are really good. Now, her logic seems to be, if you want to hear a song like it sounds on the CD, go listen to the CD, because we're doing it live, and we're doing it weird. And now, let's defuse a jukebox. Our first step is, perhaps obviously, to find the record that is currently playing. And if you choose to pause the video, you'll see that the record is called The Bomb. Because of course it is. Well, I always get that bit wrong. You have to look underneath the record, not on top of it. Then you split it open, head for the bomb, and cut the right wire. Which, in this case, actually is the right wire. Simples. And you see, this is the other thing that I don't understand with this game. Not only is the budget all over the place, the difficulty is a sine wave. Like, this stage was pretty simple, and we're close to the end of the game, while... like, the moon was this huge, complicated mechanism. Oh wait, never mind, because it's time for one more. How do you know there's a drummer knocking at your door? 'Cause the knocking speeds up. And how do you get him to leave the door? Pay for your pizza. Thank you, good night! Yeah, I promise, that's the last one of those. Like, I could fill the entire rest of the video with that, and nobody wants to hear it. Ooh, especially since I've just looked over at my notes, and the next stage is... difficult. Like, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, rather than just cracking wise about drummers. And what we're going to be doing next is what I think the logical end point of this game's premise is. I.e., dismantling one big mechanism comprised of lots of small parts. Oh, and that is a cute outfit. Am I too easily distracted? There are 4 pens on my desk, by the way, and a blue car just drove by outside. What am I talking about? I don't know. Suzuki's going to the theater to take in a show. And our next stage is the Warp Tool. Or a giant engine. Like, we've gone from electrical engineering in the last stage to mechanical engineering in this one. And it is this stage where part of the game's feel is lost in the transition from video game to video. Like, the controller rumbles a little bit every time you do something like... nope, not that way. Like, every time you turn a screw or cut a wire or whatever, the controller gives a little rumble. This stage rumbles pretty consistently, given that we're working on a giant engine. And honestly, it's more disorienting than you think, especially since, by this point in the game, you're used to controller rumble signifying tension. I mean, still, it makes sense, because, like I say, we're working on a giant engine. Alrighty, path's open, so in we go. The engine is a bit of a tricky one, because there are, like, 5 different stages, and most of them have their own fail state. I mean, we have an overall timer of 12 minutes, but if we get pretty much any part of this wrong, we're done. Oh, and that didn't work. So basically we have to stop the gears turning in such a way that they stop at the cardinal points, revealing the screws at the intercardinal points. And there's probably some secret behind how we do that, but it doesn't particularly matter because whatever it is, here we go. Yeah, that's a CPC game away. Forget trying to solve the puzzle, just brute force it. Although, to be fair, this is about the only part of the game where you can brute force a solution. The rest of the game, and the rest of this level, as I say, will kill you outright if you try to do stuff like that. So let's move on. Now, I think the next bit is the tricky... Ah, yes it is. Alright, are you guys ready to do some actual legitimate hydraulic engineering? We have to turn the screws in this part of the engine in such a way that we fill the central chamber, but not too much, because if we do, the chamber will flush down and activate the detonator. Now, we close that outlet, then... Yes, then we bring the piston up, open the outlet, and then we push the piston down again, and that should... Yeah, there we go! That is the most difficult puzzle in the entire game, as far as I'm concerned, and it took me so long to work out what I was even supposed to be doing, forget getting it right. Now, this one, we have to use the gears at the bottom to reveal the screws at the top. However, in doing so, we speed up the time at top left. And if you know what you're doing, it's not that bad. It's still kind of tense, but not bad. But when you're trying to figure it out, that is really nerve-wracking. Oh, hang on. Cameraman got a little bit drunk there. Alright, we have 42 seconds to get these bolts out. And this bit is actually really clever, because it's timed such that if you do it right, you will end up with 2 seconds left on the clock. There's 8 bolts, and it takes 5 seconds each. I got this stage wrong a lot of times when I was figuring out this level, and had plenty of opportunities to do maths while I was working, by the way. But I like that. Again, it shows just how much work the developers put in when they were building and testing the game. Fine-tuning it right down to the wire like that is fantastic. And the fact that they even look like big, heavy bolts helps to just build the tension, because you feel like it is taking longer. Oh, and what did I tell you? We finished that bit with 2 seconds left on the clock. Oh, and hey, we worked our way right through and out the other side of the engine block. And we did all of that to uncover these 2 bolts. I mean, they're 2 very important bolts, but even so, it's pretty anticlimactic. Now, you've probably seen a lot of these black stickers on the devices thus far. If you use the magnifying glass on those, you get a clue how to complete the next step of the puzzle. Or a really bad pun. Nashi wa nashi, that sort of thing. Or Suzuki Bakuhatsu. And that one's a tongue twister, and it means bus gas explosion. And I forget where I learned that one. But surprisingly, it wasn't this game. Point is, if you're wondering what those stickers are, that. Now, we don't go to the obvious entrance, we go to the one on the side, which actually puts us on a very tight timer, because you see that bullet lower right? It is slowly creeping towards a detonator, and it won't stop until we can slow down the engine. So, let's go. Now this bit's a failsafe. You remove the piston so it won't fall into its own detonator, and then we go to this one over here, and we have to turn the power to the magnet so we can safely clip this wire. I think. Yes! In one go, we've disarmed all 3 detonators and stopped the engine so we can safely take it apart. If I can properly navigate these road signs. And see, this is why nobody liked the rotary engine. It's a pain in the ass putting all the moving parts together like that. And you could never find the right caliber bullet for that mid-engine bomb. Now, we just unscrew these to reveal the wires, and I actually forget which one it is. Ah, well, let's try the red one this time. See what happens. Yeah, alright! I was expecting the 50-50-90 rule, but apparently I got it right this time. I mean, aside from the pinball table, that stage is the one I anticipated was going to give me the most trouble. So it is all plain sailing from here, right? Right? I don't know. Probably. And apparently we weren't on stage after all, because now this guy's doing his thing. I don't know what that thing is, but look at him go! Man, the actual logistics of this game confuse the hell out of me. Like, there have been a couple of times when we've entered into impossible space or done improbable things, and after the level, it's like nothing happened. Like the stage of the pop star. Did we go through the TV and end up on the set of the show? Was it Suzuki being bored and imagining things? I don't know. By the way, if you're bored, just imagine that I'm actually translating for this guy. It's just really badly dubbed. Because there is something beautiful about badly dubbed movies that... It fills a hole that very few other things do. And, okay, we're getting weird flashbacks. Assuming these one frames are showing up in the YouTube video. Also, the controller just exploded and it gave me a bit of a scare. Oh, but that guy's had enough. He's going to the break room for a cup of tea and a sandwich. And fair enough, because unless I'm very much mistaken, we've reached a pretty important milestone in the game, and you're gonna want to keep up your energy for it. For you see, dear viewer, if I hit this button, we can go to midnight and begin the exciting endgame sequence. But let's not. Let's hit the other button, go this way, and do one more stage to close out the video. Like one more incredibly dumb, weird stage. Oh hey! Suzuki's watching Enix Countdown again. Good continuity, game. Although now I feel like I'm on the world's most awkward date. Like, I don't have any particular winners in category. Save for this one time, when a girl decided that the perfect first date movie would be Saw 3. Like, I'm kinda glad that relationship didn't particularly go anywhere. Oh, and who's that guy now? I don't know. I think he is meant to be Suzuki's brother that she has always had. Shut up. And I base that on the fact that he's teasing her about being cold in these little text boxes. For you see, dear viewer, Suzuki is sitting at a kotatsu, which is a small table with a built-in blanket and heater to keep you warm. And it's not working, which is why Suzuki was checking the plugs. And I guess she found a bomb or something, which is why this is our next stage. Or maybe not, because now we're in space. I guess this game just wanted to go into space. Also, strap yourselves in, because now the game is a text adventure! Hell yeah! No. Seriously, all you need to do is read the text and hit up to get some more of it. Like, I guess somebody in the office got bored on their lunch break and just wrote a little sci-fi novella and they figured, hey, we can make a stage out of this! So the story talks about how Suzuki has fallen into a deep sleep, and she's dreaming about flying through space in a rocket. And for 99 days, she's flying on her way somewhere, and that is about all I can divine, because look at it! This is terrifying! I mean, it helps to make the scenario a little more engaging, though, because I mean, I'm picking up sentence fragments here and there, which means it's a lot more dreamlike. And I don't know most of what happened, but there was a dark void with a blue light leading us to a familiar person, which... yeah, that's how dreams go. Also, we need to cut the blue wire for this one. I mean, I guess you could infer that from what you read in a dream, if you could properly read it all the way through? I don't know. I mean, the text talks about a blue light a lot, so that's what made me think it was the right solution. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed me bumbling over text that I cannot properly comprehend. Anyways, let's see what happens next. Oh. Yeah, even more text. You know, I wonder why this stuff is done in slideshows when we've had actual videos of stuff before now. And I wonder why Mother Bakuhatsu always keeps her back to the camera. I mean, possibly to disguise the fact that she is also being played by the actress Rin Ozawa, who is also playing the role of Suzuki Bakuhatsu. I mean, I think that's Suzuki's mum. Because the guy I think is her brother calls her mum. Look, okay, I don't have a clue what's going on in this game most of the time, okay? I do know that I need to cut the video early for reasons that will become clear once you join us next time for some more Suzuki Bakuhatsu. And until next time, goodbye!